Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folare. In front of me, I guess this morning, you got Yinka Ola Daniels. He's a political affairs analyst. He's a legal practitioner apart from that. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
And right next to him is Funsho Alabi. I beg your pardon, Funsho Afolabi.
Yes, please.
Mr. Afolabi is a politician, in fact, of the SDP stock. House of Representatives in Ogun State.
Thank you very much.
Indeed, it is our pleasure.
Yes,
thank you very, very much for coming on.
Sir.
Okay, so here we are. We're in the political season. You know, campaigns have started. Where all the papers are awash yesterday. I mean, today because of an event yesterday. We all know. I think every Nigerian has a clear idea of, maybe not yet, of where they might be casting their vote, but it's swirling and everybody's sort of strategizing now. National Committee of Buhari Support Groups in Abuja apparently organized a National Consultative Forum yesterday. And, Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, APC national leader, was part of, he was speaking at that particular event. Again, no need for me to be telling us all about it. It's all over the papers. It ranges from Nigerians will never return to Egypt and that kind of a thing. I think take that headline out of The Nation, for example, The Nation newspaper. That about summarizes it, that there's no going back. So sure is he, on behalf of his party, of the faithfulness of the electorate that put them in office, ain't going to change nothing. That's his position. No doubt the PDP will have their own impression on how to interpret all of these matters. But let me start with the politician this morning. You are of STP, and,
yes.
and that's,
yes,
that's interesting. That's very, very important. Correct. First of all, are you encumbered by the whole matter of a presidential candidate?
Our presidential candidate, Donald Duke, is not new in politics.
Yes.
And antecedent of what he did when he was in government, especially in Cross River State, really put him ahead of other governors, maybe in the southeast or south region.
Yes.
Presently, we look at him as younger than every other candidate, and we believe that he can really make a positive change.
Former Governor Donald Duke.
Yeah.
But this statement at that meeting of the Committee of Buhari Support Groups that Nigeria is not going to return to Egypt, it also affects your candidate because it's saying that, look, we are here to stay. And so even your candidate has to grapple with that particular statement, right? You probably want to reserve your judgment for now on how it's going to go.
Yeah, no, I'm not reserving anything. We know that our candidate is quite above board, and you can't compare him to some presidential candidates.
So he has an edge.
He has an edge. Yeah.
And so
the fact that the political party, SDP, Social Democratic Party, has not presented candidates in the last few years doesn't stop us from presenting a better candidate than all of the parties.
Indeed. So we'll come back to it. And so you are saying that you probably don't appreciate when out there in the press, people tend to talk of front runners, thinking that it's a two-horse race, and that whole matter doesn't bother you in the SDP.
No. Even if you look at the present situation, people that are being government still coming back, they don't make any positive difference. So this time, I believe that our presidential candidate, Donald Duke, is above board and is intelligent, younger than all other people on board. I think I'm quite sure he's doing better.
And you've said that for a second time, so maybe we'll return to it. He's above board. That's what I mean. He's above board. He said that twice. Maybe we'll return to that. It might be that is indeed well a loaded statement. I don't know. But Yinka, there you go. Tinubu's statement that Nigeria will never return to Egypt is a metaphor. Of course, we understand the bad times politically seen, especially through the eyes of APC. Those bad times will never return there. And I think bad times, if one want to interpret what he's saying, is that any other organization at this point in time, would be something of stopping the progress that has been made and that they intend to take further. Give me an assessment of that statement, because there's so many contenders out there in the field. SDP, for instance, has, former Governor Donald Duke. there's Omoyele Sowore, you know, there's, you know, all the young guys, you know, not too young to run. There's the fella Dutoyes of this world, right? And on and on. So it doesn't look like Tinubu is accounting for all of those ones. That it does seem that APC probably thinks that no contest.
Well, as we can see, it's unfortunate that we have come to a point where we, in quote, practically see two political parties all the way from the 98 thereabout, or going to 138 political parties we have in Nigeria. That it's sad that that is where we are today. And who made it look so? We, the electorate. Yeah. We, the people. Because that is where we swing to. If only we can be sincere with ourselves. Okay, we are shouting and we are screaming that this government has not done well. We are crying day and night.
No, who is the we saying that this government has not done well?
I'm talking about the people.
The opposition?
Or
the people generally?
People generally.
People generally.
No, I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
People generally.
Because
the truth
because
is,
it's not
I as a
that
person,
generalization about we are saying this government has not done well.
Yes.
I wanted to identify.
Let me break it.
Okay,
Uncle Yori.
Okay.
I as a person, my personal opinion, I will not toe the line that this government has not done well. I won't go that route. I will say they can do better than what they are giving us. There were promises when this government would, when this administration was coming in. There were promises everywhere. And that was what we looked at. Then we said, okay, let us go with you. We've had 16 years of this, and we can't see anything further. Let us go with this.
And that's the Egypt that Tinubu was
yes.
referring to.
Now, yes. For me personally, I don't think there are no other or better alternatives than the APC or the PDP. I do not subscribe to the school of thought that says there are no alternatives. I believe strongly if we are sincere as the people of this country, we can actually have someone that is better than these two candidates. But then, the way it is, like a friend of mine will say, Inka, let's face reality. Let's face reality. And those are the two major parties we are talking about today. That's the APC and PDP. Now, I have a reservation also for the statement made by our senior, Alhaji Ahmed Bola Tinubu. The reservation is this. I do not think at this stage we should do the politics of attacks, of individual attacks, of politics of abuse and of retroactive and all that. No. Why can't we address issues? Yes, well, he claimed that Atiku jumped from parties, from political parties to political parties.
He didn't claim.
No, he said, okay, well, it happened.
That's a statement of fact.
Yeah, it's a statement of fact. But the same thing applies to the same Mr. Tinubu. He moved parties.
Yeah.
He moved from one party to the other party. So what I'm saying is, why can't we address issues? I would rather, if the worst is the two political parties we have, I'd rather stay with APC than going for PDP to take me back 15 years from where I am now. So I will agree with Senator Bola Tinubu on the fact that, oh, this is taking us back to Egypt. I won't try that. And I will appeal to Nigerians. Don't toe that path. The worst is I will go with APC to say that, okay, APC has just used close to 4 years. Okay, if that's the only one you people want to look at, then it's not easy to build what has been destroyed. You can destroy something in one day. You can't build it in one day.
Okay,
it's going to take time.
Interesting. Fine. Thank you very much. And this is something, thank you very much for that opening. Let me swing it back to you, Funsho. Yeah. Especially where Yinka spoke about well, what he categorized or referred to as personal attacks. Well, as he was saying that, I was wondering that until I heard it referred to in that way, I didn't really see it that way because why? The campaign season has opened. One, it is not a seminary or a church-like kind of affair. I mean, let's face it, it's out there. This is the campaign season. And so if it has started, and when people speak, because when you look around the world, it doesn't matter who you are. Hillary Clinton will say what she will say. Donald Trump will say what they will say, and, you know, in the campaign season. And so I don't know if you also think that when these politicals refer to one another, because I don't see how they're going to do anything without referring to each other anyhow, because people have to be individually responsible for what they did or didn't do when they were in office.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Yori, please.
Yeah, the point I want to make out of this is that he made a valid point by saying all of them moved from one political party to another.
Yeah, but a lot of politicians.
Let me recall
that
Chief Tinubu also was part of XDP during the MKO season.
Of course.
And they saw all the experiences in that place. I remember vividly that it was that issue of when they were about to validate June 12, they started chasing them around. And up till now, the experiences of June 12, the experiences of 16 years of PDP, and recently the 3 years experience of APC has become a systemic thing. I think that's why it's now referring to Nigeria cannot go back to Egypt. I will not tell you, I will not abide, or I will not agree that he's telling us that APC should continue. If there are better alternatives, I think they should better think think fast.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stick my neck out here and say that Tinubu categorically wants, I would say, stick out my neck. I never spoke to me, but just looking at everything you can see out there in the press, I think we can say that Tinubu categorically wants APC to continue.
I don't really about that.
Okay,
because
it's fine.
We have seen instances
where
where the APC are not delivering their manifestos. They are not.
That's not the same thing as what we've just clarified.
I'm telling you,
that's not the same thing.
I'm not.
Because
they have not.
You were saying that you didn't think that national leader of APC Tinubu was necessarily advocating the continuation of the
APC.
He is.
No, I will not agree with that.
No,
because there are better candidates.
I think on Kyori,
let me just refresh your mind very, very, very quickly. I think the most recent one I can remember. I think I heard him, and I think you guys will recall it. Once, I think it was at that thing that the Nation and TVC organized one colloquium in on solutions to the violence and all. And it was either that or was it the Abiola one? Anyhow, he had turned to Mr. President and he had said something like, Mr. President, you are going to get another term because you deserve it and we're going to work our butt off for it. I mean, that was on national television. But it's okay. I take what you've said and I'm not contradicting it. This is the understanding and perspective that you have, that Tinubu might not necessarily, even as he's saying we'll never return to Egypt, be advocating the continuation of APC. Okay, I think that's clear.
Yeah, well, I would differ. I would differ on that. If I belong to a party, I will fight a cause for such party. And I'm not going to be fighting a cause for another party when I'm in a political party, particularly when I am
that is happening in Ogun State, but that's a different story. That is happening in Ogun State. That's what you've just explained.
You see, we know what happened in Ogun State. We know what is happening in Ogun State and what created what we are seeing in Ogun State. Now, here, this is the national leader of this political party. And like you said, he has looked at Mr. President to his face to say, you are definitely going back. And
because we're going to work our butt off.
And all his body language is saying, don't forget, for a long time, he wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
And Chief, when it takes his time to talk, but when it comes out and it takes his stand, we know what happens. So for him to come out to say, we are not going back to Egypt, he's not advocating for the 98 or 97 political parties that are left there. He's advocating for his own interest. which is his own political party.
His political party.
So that's the reason why I may not toe the lines of saying, oh, it's for the other 97. Because I will definitely use the hoe to take the grass to my side. And seriously, and that is what we have seen. But what we are saying here is analyze, let the media team of Mr. President or the APC, let them do a good job. Let them tell Nigerians what they have done. Let them tell Nigerians about difficulties, why it's slow, why this is happening. Not that, oh, somebody did not do what was supposed to do. Somebody caused all these things. See, if I have a company, if I employ you as a director and you come to tell me that, oh, the last director, this is what he did, I can't do the job you are giving me because I'll fire you. But I employ you because there's a problem. So I think what they should do is to fix the problem. So if you want to come to me to get my vote, then show me what you have done. Like I said.
What you're implying there is that
issues.
You've not got enough of that.
Yes.
Communication as to what it is that has been achieved. Okay.
And that's the reason why some people are still romancing with the Egypt we are talking about. They still want to go back to that Egypt.
There's this old Simon and Garfunkel song, sorry for bringing in such, foreign artists, but it's something about the line of the song, I think it's the Boxer, it's about a man will see what he wants to see and disregard the rest. That's the important line I wanted to bring out, that a man will see what he wants to see and disregard the rest. APC has accused people out there, especially opposition, that they are underreporting the successes of this administration. Just let me leave it at that. Okay. That charge is out there. That because Yinka said earlier that if we want to be sincere with ourselves, it's a tough environment, as they tell us. Nevertheless, gains have been made, as they tell us. But even those gains, modest or not, depends on who is evaluating, is not being adequately reported. And so this is why people are now able to say what they're saying, that perhaps they could have done a lot more because they don't really have a good measure of what indeed has been achieved. Now all of this spin, let me call it that. That is the spin of APC. But you not being of the APC, it seems to me, you're not coming on board for that argument.
No, the issue on ground is that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being part of government,
he's not part of government.
No, he's part of government because he's an APC. For him to go to the president and tell him they will do all they could to return him to power, that is an insider. Okay. So also it also.
But I just thought, I don't think of Tinubu as being in government. Yeah, he's key in the ruling party, but he's not in government.
We are not baby in this. He's
a party member.
He's a party member.
Yeah, he's a party member, but he's not an ordinary member.
But that doesn't still put him. He's still for all of that.
Let me just say this. He has the right to defend his party, so also others.
Yes.
It has been happening in previous years that when you see a political party in
short,
power...
Tinubu is saying there's no better choice than what we have now.
I will not agree.
And I
will not agree. There are many people that are not in the political parties that are better than all of them.
Exactly. Mr. Adebayo, good morning, sir. Thank you for holding on.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning, sir?
We're very well, thank you. Please go ahead.
And I want to go to your guest this morning.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
One thing I want us to look at in this country is that the person like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying APC will definitely assure them of victory.
Well, yes. APC will not go back. We're not going to go back to where we were before.
No, what is there is that as an electorate, we have to look at the manifesto of all these people. We have seen the young people. I've listened to Showore, I've listened to Durotoye, I've listened to Donadu, I've listened to all of them.
Obieze Kwesili.
The Obieze Kwesili. We are not looking at all others. We are just blindfolded by this. Even the Ahmed Bola Tinubu that is talking. What I see, the Lagos, how he and through Sanwo-Olu, we are all here. We are all here. There was no primary. These people that were talking, the whistleblower said, politicians never believe what they do. If you believe them, they are surprised at you. Mr. Daniel said something now that he's fighting for his own thing. When we are saying that we go back to Egypt or no,
He was fighting for his party's interest.
yes, for his party interest. It's not a Nigerian interest. It's not a Nigerian interest. It's a high time that we must sit down and look.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in. You see, party's interest, he said that's not necessarily Nigeria's interest.
Well.
Yeah,
Every party right now is putting out its position on how it is going to do this great thing for the country. Yeah. So you can't go beyond right now your party's, roadmap. That's what you have to present to the public. That's what people are going to evaluate, and then it becomes the national interest. That was just the way I saw it, sir.
Yeah, you are right.
Yes. So SDP can only come at this from an SDP perspective, and so on and so forth. So that's the APC perspective that will be presented to the electorate for evaluation, for which the electorate will now say pass or fail.
Well,
but Mr. George, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to your guest.
Thank you for calling
Good
in.
morning, sir.
Uncle Yori, I agree with Asiwaju Tinubu for many reasons. I don't know how much time you can give me to explain myself.
Yes.
It is a two-horse race, no doubt. I am not saying that of the 73...
Well, Mr. Afolabi disagrees with you.
Well, he has the right to do that, but I have the right to also hold my view.
Okay.
I am not saying that of the other 73 candidates that there is no capable person. But the truth of the matter is that in reality, they cannot come. Why? Several by-elections have been held, for example, in the past 6 to 8 months. How many parties have shown victory outside APC and PDP? The one that was just held in Kwara, where was SDP? Where was Showore's party? Where was Durotoye's party? Where was Duke's party? These are the yardsticks we use. They may be good people, but they don't have what it takes to win presidential election in 2019. Mark my words, anybody can boast. But in reality, that is what happened. Now, coming to the two major parties that are at play. Tinubu is very right, because there's no right-thinking Nigerian that will see what PDP did in 16 years, and we want to follow them after 3 years because they merely said we have repented when there is no evidence. In African countries, $16 billion was spent in an attempt to bring power to us. If we have power in this country, Uncle Yori, there will be no unemployment. Nigerians are very hard-working people. Most of these people, you see them riding Okada. Some of them are graduates. They learn certain trade. It's because there's no electricity to power their industry. Yes. That's why they are doing what they are doing. We didn't see what they did with that $16 billion. We are seeing where one person is seen with 34 houses built with stolen money. We have seen where one person has billions of dollars in his account outside this country, which he took from our poor. These same people are now coming back to tell us that in 2019 we should elect them. Only fools will do that. There are many other things that Tinubu said. I listened to the speech. He said that if you do not have faith in your party, you cannot also have faith in the country. And the way people are jumping from one party to the other is only an indication that it is only their self-interest they are trying to protect. Somebody said there among the panelists that Tinubu also joined parties. I've been following him for years. When there was SDP, there were only two parties, SDP and the other
NRC.
So he wasn't jumping from SDP to any other party. When AD came, he was there. It was when AD changed name that he moved away from AD.
Yeah.
When Action Congress came, AD translated to Action Congress. And Action Congress translated again to APC. It was not as if she was changing parties. So there is a difference, and that is what we must put into account. Uncle Yori, Donald Duke is somebody I know. He can be Nigerian president, judging from what he saw in Cross River State. But he cannot be the president of today's Nigeria, given what it takes to get there. Does he have money to sponsor 10,000, 4 agents in 120,000 polling booths at 10,000 naira each? Will he buy votes? Even if he will, does he have the means to buy it? Does she already have this? These are the realities I'm talking about. If I were the younger people, Uncle Yori, I'm sorry if I'm taking your time.
No, it's fine.
I would have infiltrated the legislature first.
Yes, I agree
and
with that.
make the laws that will enable their own caliber of people eventually come to power. They are not doing that. They want to become president at once. It's not possible.
All right, Mr. George, thank you very much. Appreciate your calling in. And yeah, let me come to you. Do you have any comments? You know,
the other comment I wanted to
coming from that, because for instance, what I meant, maybe I should have been more direct in the questioning, is that people, apart from these two front runners, candidate of the PDP and candidate of the APC, apart from them, all the other people might not have what it takes in Nigeria of today. Not commenting of Nigeria of tomorrow, but today, the way it stands. And so, but you say you have a candidate and you people are not playing. You're not playing. When you have this candidate, you think he's in there because there's a fighting chance.
What I think is primarily is the people.
It depends on the people.
The people, not the money.
No, yeah, but you've got to reach the people.
Yeah.
And this is where the money is spent. You've got to reach the people in the nooks and crannies of this country. So not everybody has the means to do that.
Now, let's look at it. The hardship that is happening now, everybody is feeling it in nook and crannies of the country. Mindless of your distance from the country center to everywhere.
Yes.
Everybody's
so
feeling
you've
the
got
hardship.
to communicate to these people in all the
So
nooks and
everybody
crannies.
is feeling it, and everybody is crying about this government that they are not doing what it's supposed to do. In 3 years, I think we need to have a rethink. And I know people are really crying. Yeah.
That they've been crying
even though
they've
we
been
don't
crying
want
for
to go
16 years.
Back,
So you're
we
saying
don't want to go back to Egypt.
Even if they're crying, sir, would you, first of all, let me just say, even if they're crying, let me just take that. I think the argument being made is that they've been crying for 16 years. They're crying less. If you don't want to say they're smiling now, they're crying much less in the past 3 years.
But we're not getting what we deserve.
Okay.
We're not getting power, no show.
Sorry, please.
Yeah, for me, I'll pick from the last statement made by the last caller. Fantastic, and that is what I have been talking about. That's what I've been propagating. That's what
actually,
I've been
Mr.
preaching.
George said a lot of things.
Yes,
I'm going to. I see that you were particularly excited when he suggested that you should have infiltrated the National Assembly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I have been saying that to whoever that cares to hear. You don't want to become governor or become Mr. President just overnight, and you still have your fathers being freed all over the National Assembly. How do you want to achieve anything? Why can't we go into the National Assembly first? Then we can come together, make the laws that will give rooms for us to come. The Faladrotoye, the Showeres, maybe Duke may go a bit further, but those two that I mentioned, the Moged, whatever, maybe just Lagos. In fact, even in Lagos, I'm sure they can have 10% of the vote. You don't just wake up and decide you want to be President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in code. We need to work.
Yeah, but you see, you don't have the passion that those people have. So that's why you're able to say these things.
No. Don't
you don't
say
have
that.
the passion.
Don't say that.
So that's why you're able to say these things.
No. Don't
you don't
say
have
that.
the passion.
Don't say
you
that.
don't have the passion.
Don't say that. Uncle Yori, some of
your
them.
passion and Showore's passion, for instance, are not the same.
I disagree.
Okay.
The same thing Showore did while in school, though my own was not the also president, but I was also a president of a law society, and I know the impact when I was in school. When I came out from the university, I didn't sit back. Right now, as we speak, I belong to the CDCs, the CDAs, and I know what I do in my community.
I got to go on a break. I'm going to come back and we'll continue with this. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Still got Mr. Funsho Alabi. He's a politician. He's of STP. He's in the House of House of Reps candidate. Mr. Folabi, House of Reps candidate in Ogun State, and Olayinka Ola Daniels. Now we went away, and I was talking about the way all these contenders see it is not the way ordinary people see it, especially if you're in a different party. So we were on Showore, for example, and I'd made the statement that I think needs a bit of clarification, that maybe you don't have Showore's passion is why you think he's going to get 10%. And what I meant by his passion is the passion for the concept of ruling, of being the president of Nigeria. I've seen Showore, for example. I've seen the Juro Toye. I've seen at least those two, more than two of them. I've seen them, and one thing that doesn't fail to grab you is that they passionately believe this. And I liken the passion in this instance to just come to the human affairs. When you have a passion for a girl, it doesn't matter that Yinka is telling you that she's not that beautiful, her hair isn't that excellent. You're just looking at, he just doesn't know what he's talking about. It's that kind of passion I meant. Passion for the concept. You don't have it because you're not ready now to run for presidency.
Yes.
But Showore is is ready.
Yes.
Juro Toye is ready.
Yes.
Obe Ezekwesili and all those guys, they would only have joined it because they have a passion that tells them it's doable.
Uncle Yori, we are on the same table.
And we've all heard of black horses.
No, we're on the same table. Where differs it? For me,
dark horses,
for Showore, for Juro Toye, for Kingsley, and the rest of them, I am with them all the way. What I'm saying is passion is not enough. There must be strategy. Do you understand, sir? There must be strategy to carry out that passion. Like the example you use, if you see a girl and you're all over the girl, and the guy doesn't send because you like this one, not even romantic, not even you see, it's just comes in. Do you think I'm the kind of girl? But if you have strategy with your passion, you apply all the necessary moves.
So what you're saying is that when you made the statement that somebody might not possibly even hit 10% of the vote, for example, in Lagos, you're referring to because people will not be able to see the strategy by which he intends to achieve his objective.
Because, one, some, probably the younger generations, may not know him. I mean, people like us, we know him, and the older ones know him. And those ones that even know the older ones, and some of the generation will say, oh, you are not serious. You think politics is about just coming to, you are an activist.
Yes.
You are this, you are this. Then, that is where Showore needs to come. Say, yes, I was an activist. Yes, I have passion. I have love for my country. This is what we want to do. How do we go about it? Then you come to convince us.
But he's doing that. You might
where, sir?
He's going around the country.
Yes, sir. Okay, now
he's going around the country.
The question we're asking.
He's doing
now,
that.
Some of these parties, it's political parties. How many of them?
Hold the thought.
How many of them?
I don't want to
lose.
Orire has come on, and I don't want to lose him. But hold the thought, so we can come back and look at it. Good morning, Mr. Orire in Sulere.
Yes. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, I believe journalism will be objective. I want to remind us. Chief Tunumbu took Atiku around Nigeria when he was in ACN to be the presidential candidate. Is that true or false, Uncle Yori?
Just please
go ahead.
continue. Don't put me in the
No, I
question.
would like you to
Don't put
take
me in the
your
situation
vote.
of answering questions from
So that
home.
we are objective. So when Tinubu is now telling us Atiku is Egypt, he is not being objective and not being fair. You see, Nigerians will judge individuals based on their terms. No. Excuse me, Uncle Yori. List the promises of President Buhari. Look at all the promises. The allowance to call members, none was given. The state police, list them and mark their script and see which one are achieved. It will be wrong to say that PDP 16 years is a waste. You thank God the Minister of Power mentioned 7,000 megawatts. The power stations that were built was one built by him. I'm talking about Fashola. The power plants that were built, were they built by fund or money from the past administration? I like what the other panelist was talking about. If I employ you as the director, you don't tell us what is past. In 3 years, what have you achieved? You have borrowed trillions of naira. Currently, Uncle Yori, you can fact check these things. Over 53% of Nigeria's revenue is being paid to service debt. Did Obasanjo pay Nigeria out of debt? So let's be factual. Let's be factual. And I like the other contestant talking about the other candidates. Yes, you might say they don't have structures. They don't have structure because the media set agenda. And the media is setting the agenda of PDP, APC only. So that's why it's shaping the argument and the discourse. And Uncle Yori, whether you like it or not, you are part of it. You keep shaping the APC agenda. I don't know whether because TVC is owned by APC, that is not objective journalism. Yes, you can say my opinion. NBC cannot take you for it. This is my opinion, Uncle Yori. Let's be objective. Nigeria will owe you. NBC will soon go. PDP will go. But you as an individual will be held accountable by individuals who listen to you.
All right,
God bless
then.
Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you, Mr.
Welcome.
Orire. Thank you very, very much. You've taken the impression that you have, and you've expressed it with great articulation. Thank you for calling in. People are setting the agenda. Media, he's saying, and he's not removing anybody. The media, he says, is setting the agenda. What does this mean? What does this mean? People speak, people act, and the media reports what is spoken and what has been done. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? If you don't act, of course, you don't get reported upon unless people are saying, no. Then you switch into investigative journalism mode and then go to that person who is not doing anything, who is not saying anything, and find out what's in the deeper recesses of his mind and come and bring it to us. I mean, I know it's a lot more complicated than that, but
my view is that the media too is getting conservative.
Conservative?
Yeah.
The media?
The media.
Okay.
Because...
what does that mean exactly?
Yeah, what I mean is that when they buttress an issue 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and they don't see anything, they decide to just chill out and go to other things.
Oh, okay. But that, no. Sorry, sir. With
Take, for example, the issue
great
of
respect,
power.
That's what happened. Okay.
Take for example, the issue of power. Take another example is the issue of road. Look at Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. That for the past 16 years of PDP, that road was not finished. APC started it. The road, they are not going anywhere.
And so in relation to the point about media being conservative,
keep talking about it all the time, but now nobody's talking about it again. The media is not talking about it again, except people that apply those roads. Okay.
And the media,
it's like
maybe it should be the watchdog, so the media should be
blow up all issues.
Well, okay, I get what you're saying then. I get what you're saying then.
With this, I think they should be able to expose the government and let government know where they are not doing well. But now they are being conservative. That's what I mean.
Well, what's your take? Because I think by being conservative, I'm just going to interpret that he's meaning that we're not reporting these things, as frequently and as accurately You know, I just don't know.
I'm going to pick
because times come and times go.
Yes.
At one time there will be this whole thing. It will be that's grabbing all the headlines. Then, as you know, in news, something else, another headline comes and pushes that off. It doesn't make it disappear, but it does push it out of the way. But if issues are important enough, they will not. They cannot be pushed off the front page if they are important enough.
Well, let me put it this way, Uncle Yari, from the last caller. You see, when he was saying, okay, maybe because it was a TVC, APC, whatever, and I think I need to differentiate some, I need to draw the line from what he was saying. Probably you should make it clear. When he was saying, Uncle Yari, I think he was addressing the media generally.
Yes.
Journalists generally.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, so it wasn't
and then he also so graciously also included me. Very gracious.
Yes, because you're part of the
He graciously included me.
You're part of the media.
Because we're in the system.
This is what I'm saying there.
One moment. I'm going to do it again. Sorry, I'm coming right back to you. Blessing in Isolo. Good morning. Is it sir or madam?
Good morning. Blessing from Ajao, not Istolo. Blessing from Ajao.
Madam Blessing from Ajao, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, sir. My own contribution is that it's too early for us to just jump into conclusion. It's too early for us to jump into conclusion. So, what I want to say is that
No, carry on, Madam Blessing. Don't listen to the echo.
Just hold on for them to start their campaign because we are always their problem. We the masses, we are their problem. By the time they give us what we want now, we'll go and vote. At the end of the day, after 6 months, we'll start crying. The first time is change. Now it's less level. Let's go. The problem is that between the PDP and the APC, tell me which one is better. To me, I don't see. They are not the only party. I don't know why we are giving them so much attention. We have so much party there. Who tell you other people in the other party they cannot do it? But because they rule us, they have money to spend, they have money to squander. That is why their name is coming up, APC, PDP. APC, PDP. If the other party too, they have big shots in their this thing, their name will come out. You will hear it. We are still in the same thing. Let's start next level. Good for us. Whatever Atiku has, good for us. When Atiku was there with Obasanjo, why can't he voice out? Why can't he tell us that he's going to be this thing? He's going to reshuffle. There's going to be something. Why is he now? So the next level to where? That we cannot buy rice, we cannot buy oil. Christmas is coming. There's hunger everywhere. They should just tell us something. If they want to catch anybody for corruption, they should tell me one person that they've jailed for corruption. Just tell us one person that they've jailed. And so far, so good, the money that they've recovered, fine, they are doing road, do everything. They should be able to hold them accountable. NNPC, the other time, they said they want to probe. We've not had anything. So who is deceiving who? Agenda from which agenda? Please tell me. The next one we will hear reservation. So me, I'm confused though. Please, they can tell us. There's hunger in the land. Let's be fast, Mr. Yori. If you can eat 3 square wheels, not everybody can eat.
Madam, we're on the same page, oh. We're on the same side.
Go outside that now. You will know that Christmas is coming. It doesn't look like a Christmas in Nigeria. Such is everywhere.
Yes.
There's problem.
All right.
That's the kind of level that we are going to. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome,
and you too. Thank you very much.
Uncle Yori, I said earlier about the media team of the administration that is not really trying. Like now, she raised the issue of tell us who would have been jailed on these corrupt issues. As far as we're concerned, just a few weeks ago, EFCC recorded over 263 conviction on corrupt charges, corrupt charges and all that. So, you see, if only they come out to tell the people, to make emphasis on what as their achievement, probably they will not have to be attacking an individual, but issue-based politics. That is one. Two, about media also. Now, she said it, and the other caller said it. We are only on PDP, APC. I said that when we started the program. What happens to the other? They said in reality, we come back to APC, we come back to PDP. That is what we have chosen to do. That's what the media is selling, because they pick the one that will sell to them. And the truth is, we are the problem, because if you go to an average man there on the road and you tell the average man about all those other political parties, I beg, those ones are not serious. Yeah. We are talking about PDP, we are talking about APC. So we are the problems. Until when like I said something in one of the programs that why can't we research all these presidential candidates? Why can't we look at their manifestos? Why can't you look at the records of what they have done?
Okay,
so
why? Why can't we? Why can't we? When we come to
the,
all those political rallies.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Taiwo in Victoria Island. Good morning, sir. Oh, ma'am.
Hello?
Hello, Taiwo. Good morning.
Hello?
Thank you for calling in. We can hear you. Taiwo, we can hear you.
Hello?
I think the network. Can you see me? I'm trying
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I can barely hear, actually.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. If you can barely hear, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Unfortunately, well, I'm glad I can hear you. I can see you. Well, unfortunately, we are often too emotional, you know. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Well, a lot of emotions are running up in the air. As usual, Nigerians are very emotional, very passionate, and often too sentimental also. We at times don't like to take our time to be patient. You cannot be sick and you expect a miracle to happen to be cured all of a sudden. Healing process takes a while. And I see oftentimes people always forget where we come from. Our major problem often lies with our sense of loss of history and also our loss of identity. Oftentimes I ask most people that are called Nigerians, who are we as Nigerians? What do we want for ourselves? A lot of people are talking about Christmas, they talk about Easter, they talk about Salah. Is that really the focus? They must learn to be process people. And they must learn to take away these emotions and focus on what we truly want for ourselves. Across board, across both parties. I'm not an advocate of this present administration, but what I can say is that I know that if you have to change something, you must understand the issue of what brings about change. From 1999, I'm sorry if I'm taking your time. From 1999,
it's all right for now.
The presidents as at then enjoyed some form of support from the then military men. We moved on to the Yaradua saga. He enjoyed a great handover. Then we moved on to the Jonathan era, where there was abuse and reckless and impunity of our funds. Now we've changed it. The Nigerians expect a miracle overnight. But if the pastor asks Nigerians to fast for 365 days, they will be patient to wait for the miracle. But for them to just allow this process to just go on and ensure that, at the end of the day, we get to that point where we ourselves can say to ourselves, yes, we have tried. Yes, we have committed. To see that, the process itself, is what guides us through. Nigerians are always so impatient.
I got to interrupt you, Taiwo. Thank you very much. I appreciate your call, and I think you're going to allow me to summarize it all in Nigerians. We as Nigerians ourselves, we're not patient enough, because I think what is just said is that it's like we put a seed in the ground and we want tomorrow to come and reap the fruit. Yeah. We put a mango seed in the ground and tomorrow we want to bring baskets and set up the trailers. Yes. What are you going to do? What are trailers doing? No, to come and I planted the mango yesterday to come and take the load of. That, I think, is what Taiwo is saying. Yeah. So he says the politicians have that to contend with. And when they're formulating their campaigns, when they're communicating with us, you've got to think about this aspect, because it's one thing you can become a psychologist or a shrink and say that, look, this kind of thinking is wrong, this is what we need. But I think he's saying that the way we are, we're passionate. And I think elections, these things, politics, it's passionate. We're passionate, the emotion clouds us up, and the long and short of it is that we don't wait. He said he's not an advocate of this particular administration, but they've been at it for 3 years. I wonder if one can interpret that in some way as, look, wait a bit. That probably is what APC will want to say. Yes. Wait a bit, we're working on this. So that criticism that politicians, observation, never mind criticism, that politicians are often contending with Nigerians who don't hold the faith for very long. They might give you 2 or 3 weeks, and if my bank account hasn't shown any difference, I'm beginning to reconsider that partnership we have. Well, Chuku in Abuja has come on. Good morning, Mr. Chuku.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yari.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
And good morning to your guest in the studio.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Uncle Yari, I want to quite disagree with what your manager or the boss said, that we are not going back to Egypt. I quite agree we are not going back to Egypt because we are moving forward. You see, this country, Nigeria, belongs to all of us. And we shall look at it the way it comes. Let us not be somehow maybe trying to look at it in a different perspective. Look, the truth of the matter is that let us put at the point, let us focus on at the matter. Let us not begin to debate, pointing accusing finger to individuals. When you are pointing one finger, 3 is pointing to yourself. Are you getting? And there is no how you can hide a pregnancy on priori. We have suffered 16 years. But shall we continue in that suffering? The suffering we suffer in 16 years, I'm sure it's even worse than now. Take a look what the government promises us when they are coming. Their promises us change. They added fuel money without anyone going for a strike, hoping that they will be better. But the result we got is the worst. So I want to quite say that, look, let us be sincere. Look at what the wife of the president said, that there are some people, 2 people, which should not disclose, that is people that are masterminding the country. And it is quite unfortunate that these things are coming up. Look, the only thing is that we should keep on changing. We should keep on changing until we got it right. If PDP was in 16 years, they paid some of the debt Nigeria was owing. Okay, if there is a corruption in this country, Uncle Yoli, let's ask ourselves a question. People were complaining of Babangida, that Babangida was the most corrupt person. Uncle Yoli, Babangida built Third Mainland Bridge. Uncle Yoli, Babangida built Abuja, he built that Aso Rock. Uncle Yoli, I can see him go on and on. They say that Jonathan was corrupt. I quite agree that he was too loose, but yet he built some of these universities. Even the red line that they are being commissioned, it was started by his own commission. Even the APC, it was better than concentrated. Government is a continuity.
All right then.
And let us not take bow that when you come into a government. For example, in this your office, one cannot come. You need to improve. The truth of the matter is that this present government, they have rolled us back even more than the 15 years we have spent in the hand of PDP.
Thank you very much. I've got to let go of you at that stage. Thank you very much, because I'm very happy for that last statement there, because that sort of summarizes what, because it seemed to me that he was making points on both sides, very objectively, but then finally he's not pleased. Yes. So we got that. But the point that I think we've been making here is that some aspects of what Asiwaju Tinubu said were seen as personal attacks, and whereas I said that in a campaign season you get that, you have said that you actually need for them to show what it is that they have done.
Issue based.
Let them go on the issue, but sometimes people can become part of the issue. No. Ibrahim in London. Oh, okay. Ibrahim in London, yes. You're our very last caller. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Can you put me to this morning, Mr. Yori, please?
Thank you very much. You're on This Morning.
Thank you. Mr. Yori.
Good morning, Mr. Brian.
Good morning. Good morning to you and good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Please, all the color they be calling, everybody has their own mind to say, they have the right thing to say, but what is really matter in Nigeria today, Nigeria should sit down and see what is happening at present and what's going to happen in future. APC, PDP, they are different parties entirely. To God be the glory, Alhaji Asiwaju Tinubu is trying his best in Nigeria, but Nigeria, we don't appreciate what people are doing. Today, Atiku was in government for 8 years. He was in custom for almost 12 years or 15 years or 30 years. Where does he get his money to build his university? Or why does he get his money to do all things that he's doing when he says he's a businessman?
Okay, thank you very much. We've completely run out of time. And it's an interesting question you asked, but we could ask it about just about every other big man we know in this land. But that's a totally separate matter. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. We've run out of time. I think what you have said is that we need issues, whatever else is put out there. People need the issues to educate them. We don't have the time anymore.
Yes,
just a few seconds.
Yes. Also,
because people have to make a choice.
We're talking about two political parties. Now, the other political parties should not sleep. Because when you have a ruling political party, then you have the other one that is just the opposition, and we know one opposition party. Yeah. What happened to the other? They go to sleep. Then today you want to present a president.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that comment. But in relation to that, I was going to say that you have to be looking for them.
We've been looking about 3 years.
Those people are active, but you're not looking for them.
No, they should be more active. We will see them.
You've been talking about 3 years of APC in government.
Yeah.
We're talking about 12 years of the PDP, or 16 years. Now, I think the problem of Nigeria started from the annulment of June 12 election.
Okay, so we can't develop the point, but thank you very much. We've completely run out of time, and this is where one eye is nowhere near enough to talk politics, but thank you very much, Mr. Funsha Afolabi, SDP House of Reps candidate in Ogun State, and also, as always, thank you very much, Inga Ola Daniels, lawyer and presidential, no, it's not, I was going to say presidential, but it's actually political affairs analyst, but it was the P. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.